ಸಂತತ 12 ಕೋಟಿ ಸುವರ್ಣ ಪುಷ್ಪ ಸಮರ್ಪಿಸಲು ಸಂತತ 12 ಕೋಟಿ ಸುವರ್ಣ ಪುಷ್ಪ ಸಮರ್ಪಿಸಲು ಅಂತ್ಯ ಫಲಾದಿ ಕೋಟಿ ಕೋಟಿ ಅಗಣಿತ ಫಲವು ಕೋಟಿ 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 ಅಗಣಿತ ಫಲವು ಅರ್ಧ ತುಳಸಿ ದಳದ ತಂಟು ಮಾತ್ರ ಸಮರ್ಪಿಸಲು ಭಕ್ತಿಯಿಂದ ಸಮರ್ಪಿಸಲು ಶ್ರೀ ಹೇಮಗತ ಪುರಂದರ ವಿಠಲ ವೈಕುಂಠ ಪುರಂದರ ವಿಠಲ ವೈಕುಂಠ ಪದವಿಯ ನಿವನ್ನೋ ವಿಠಲ ವೈಕುಂಠ ಪದವಿಯ ನಿವನೋ. This is an Gurubhyo in Kannada, but before I explain its meaning, I'd like to mention another verse from a Kirtana by the same composer. And I'll explain the meaning of both together. The other verse says, Kaliyugadalli Harinamava Nenedare Kula Kotigal Uddarisuvadu Ranga. And the reason I mentioned both of these together is because they form a sort of mirror image. Because in the first Gurubhyo, the composer says, if generations of your lineage worship Naarayana with golden flowers, they will get great and countless results. But if you offer half a tulasi bilva with bhakti, then Vithala will give you the ultimate blessing of Vaikuntha itself. And the mirror image comes in the other line, which says, if you think of Harinama with bhakti, he will take care of not just you, but generations of your lineage. So this bhakti becomes a sort of crucial game changer. And bhakti has been glorified by numerous saint composers in their kirtanas and kritis. And today I want to take a closer look at one such Devar Naama, which begins with the words Naarayana, Ninna Naamada Smaraneya Saramritavu Nanna Nalige Barani. But before we delve into that, we need to answer one question, which is, what is bhakti and why is it glorified so much? So in the Narada Bhakti Sutra, which is a treatise in the nature of bhakti, Sri Narada elaborates that love is primarily of three forms. The first is kama or attraction, which is only materialistic and skin deep, while prema or affection is conditional or finite. But Narada Maharishi says there is a third form of love which surpasses both of these, and this is called bhakti. And what characterizes bhakti and what makes it so special and superior to the others? Narada Maharishi gives two adjectives to begin with. He says bhakti is parama prema swarupa and amrita swarupa, which means it is parama prema, which is an extended or greater form of prema than just affection, because it is unconditional and infinite. And second, he says amrita swarupa. Just as amrita gets rid of death for a person by giving him immortality, bhakti is the amrita that rids a person of death by guiding him towards moksha. Which means amrita can give eternal life, but bhakti can give eternal bliss. And Narada Mahamuni further breaks down bhakti into 11 different forms towards the end of this treatise. But in Kali Yuga, when we are already bogged down by so many deviations from Bhagavad Dhyana, which of these is truly feasible for the layman? Not just a Mahayogi who has dedicated his life to Dhyanam. For a commoner, which of these is the easiest path to the Brahman? Narada Maharshi probably knew that we'd ask such questions in Kali Yuga, so he gets it directly answered from Narayana himself. He asks the Bhagavan, where do you truly reside? Where can a true bhakta find you and seek refuge? And before we hear Bhagavan's reply, note that Parvati asked a very similar question to Mahadeva once. She asked, Keno paina laguna Vishnor nama sahasrakam. What is the shortest way for people to chant the 1,000 names of Mahavishnu? Looks like the gods knew about our easy way out, lazy attitude in Kali Yuga. Because to answer Parvati, Ishvara doesn't recommend recitation of Vedas and Vedantas. He says, Shri Rama 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 iti Rame Rame Manorame. The Ramanama is enough, nothing more is needed. And in a very similar way, Narayana says, to answer Narada Mahamuni's question, Na aham vasami vaikunthe yoginam hdayena cha mad bhakta yatra gayanti tatra tishtami Narada. This is from the Padma Purana. He says, I neither reside in Vaikuntha nor in the hearts of yogis. Wherever my bhakta sings, I am present there, Narada. And I think Narada Mahamuni was jolted by this realization because he immediately took off from Devaloka and descended to Bhuloka to preach the Mahima of this Nama Sankirtana. And it is believed that the avatara that he took was that of Sangeeta Pitamaha, Sri Purandaradasaru. He was born under the name Srinivasa Nayaka in 1484 and he lived as a wealthy merchant. But after Narayana himself played beautiful Leela in Dasaru's life, he renounced his material pursuits and took to the life of a Haridasa. And he has composed more than 4 lakh Sankirtanas, and I think he remembered what Narayana said, that I don't reside in the hearts of yogis, because he didn't compose just for learned yogis in scholarly Sanskrit or anything. His specialty was simplifying the complex ideas of the Vedas and Upanishads and making them accessible to the commoner in the spoken language of Kannada. Above all, as we saw from the Ugabhoga, which I first presented, he's propagated the importance of Bhakti and Nama Sankirtanam for the living soul or Jivatma to attain the Supreme Spirit or Paramatma. And I want to lay special emphasis on the term Nama Sankirtanam, because just Kirtanam means just singing the praises of anyone. So does that mean we can sing about anything good or bad? No. Sankirtanam, he says. True and righteous Kirtanam. And what belongs to this category of Sankirtanam? Nama Sankirtanam. The chant of the holy Nama. And what is this holy Nama that belongs to the category of Nama Sankirtanam? Naarayana Ninna Namada Smaraneya. Naarayana Ninna Namada Smaraneya. Saramritavu Nanna Naligege Barali. Naarayana Ninna Namada Smaraneya. Saramritavu Nanna Naligege Barali. Naarayana Naarayana. Narayana, let the divine nectar of chanting your name come to my tongue, says Dasaru. And I'd like to explore this Pallavi in 3 parts. The first being Ninna Namada Smaraneya. What is Smarane and why does Dasaru use this word? Second, Saramritavu. Why does he say Smarane Saramrita? This is the second question. And the third is Nanna Nalige Barali. What is the meaning of this request? These are the 3 questions that I want to address. First he says Ninna Namada Smarane. The word Smarane means the constant remembrance of the Lord at all times. And the reason he uses the word Smaranam is better understood if we look at the lines of the many charanams in the Sankirtana which lead back to the Pallavi, where Dasaru says Kanasinallagali, Kanavarike Yellagali, Manasu Kottirali, Munidirali, Jwara Bandagali, Chali Bandagali, Marali Marali, Matte Naduguva Hagagali. I may be dreaming in a state of anxiety, I may be calm or angry, or I may be very ill and shivering from sickness. But even at such times, let the Narayana Nama stay on my lips. Because even if Dasaru is a Parama Bhakta, he is still subjected to the constraints of his mortal body like sleep, hunger, sickness and so on. But he still wants the Narayana Nama to stay on his lips then. Because at such times he can't physically pick up the tamburi and sing the Sankirtanas. Which is why he says Ninna Namada Smaraneya Nanna Nalige Barali instead of Ninna Namada Kirtana Nanna Nalige Barali. Because Kirtana, despite being the easiest path to realize the Bhagavan, cannot be done constantly. But Smarana can be pursued at every moment of one's life. And this is Dasaru's request. Second, let's come to the word Saramrita. Why does he call Bhakti Saramrita? Recall how Narada Mahamuni used the word Amrita Swarupa to describe Bhakti in the Narada Bhakti Sutram. Dasaru uses the same idea and the same terminology and says Ninna Namada Smaraneya Saramritavu, We already explored why bhakti is Amrita Swarupa, and Dasaru understands that not everyone has the knowledge of Sanskrit and can read these Sanskrit sutras and Upanishads. So the same thing that he said as Narada in the Narada Bhakti Sutra, as Dasaru, he simplifies it for the layman and gives the essence of this in the most common tongue, so that anyone who wants to indulge in Bhakti Margam needs to look no further than his Sankirtanas to understand the Bhagavan. And third, he says, Smaraneye Saramratavu Nanna Nalige Barali Narayana. In this line, it's very important to understand the tone that Dasaru uses. Because in other kritis, he has sung demandingly, he has sung lovingly, or even angrily towards Vithala. But here, his tone is very humble and very requesting. The reason is he's asking for a priceless blessing here. As Srinivasa Nayaka, as a merchant, he had a lot of nidhi or wealth. But he realized that this nidhi was finite and temporary. Now, as a Haridasa, he is asking for a nidhi which is permanent and infinite. And that is Bhakti Bhagya Sudhanidhi. This is another verse from the Narada Bhakti Sutra, which addresses Narayana and begins with the words Ni Bhakti Bhagya Sudhanidhi, which means the opportunity to swim in the ocean of Narayana Bhakti is a blessing or a bhagyam. And Dasaru is asking for such a great bhagyam, which is why his tone is so pleading in this line. And we don't even have to look as far as this kriti to know this why bhakti is a bhagyam, because Dasaru mentions this even in a Geetam that we teach little kids who are just starting to learn Carnatic music. Being Sangeeta Pitamaha, he has composed the early lessons, the Janta Varasai, Sarli Varasai, Geetams, for teaching beginners of Carnatic music. And even in this, he has embedded such profound bhakti and meaning. He says, ಕೆರೆಯ ನೀರದು ಕೆರೆಗೆ ಚೆಲ್ಲಿ ವರವ ಪಡೆದವ ನೋಡಿ ಬದುಕಿರೋ ಹರಿಯ ಕರುಣದೊಳಾದ ಭಾಗ್ಯವ. The life that Hari has given you is a bhagyam, a blessing. And how do we not waste such a blessing? Hari samarpane maadi badukiro. Devote it back to the Hari who has blessed you with this life. And interestingly, this Geetam is in Ragam Mala Hari. So Hariya Karunadolada Bhagyava, Hari Samarpane Maadi Badukiro in Ragam Malahari. So we can see how much he has dedicated his Sankirtana to that Hari. And in this Kriti that we are currently discussing also, I feel like Dasaru has conveyed a meaning through the Ragam he has chosen. He's chosen Shuddha Dhanyasi, and to understand what is the meaning behind it, let's break down this word. So in English, when we call a person by an adjective, we say, you are lucky, you are talented, or something like that. And the word are that we use in such a context is translated as asi in Sanskrit. So coming back to the word Shuddha Dhanyasi, it can be split as Shuddha Dhanya Asi. Shuddha or pure, Dhanya or blessed person, and Asi, which means are. So Dasaru describes Narayana Bhaktas as those who are the purely blessed ones, who get to indulge in the Sudha or the nectar of Bhakti. And Dasaru is requesting Narayana to make him one of those Shuddha Dhanyaru or purely blessed people. And after giving such an important idea of Bhakti and Smaranam in the Pallavi, Dasaru proceeds to make his request to Narayana as an indirect means to teach us the Mahima of the Naarayana Nama. He sings a number of charanams for this, and I hope to take up 2 of these charanams and share my understanding of what Dasaru has conveyed to us. So do join me again next Wednesday to relish the divine Sudha or nectar, which is Dasaru's Sankirtana. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.